We'll now open the floor for questions and answers. I do have just one question here at the moment. Perhaps there's still a few more. And from this question, I believe it will be directed to the HR director who addressed us. I think he was one of the last speakers. It's quite a straightforward question. I believe the answer will also be very straightforward. Why do they ask for 2 years or more experience when applying for a job? I'll hand over the microphone to Mr. Victor Banjo.
To answer that question, for a lot of job applications, you find that what we call screening, they're actually screening sessions or screening, I call it screening questions. So if I don't indicate 1, 2, 3, or 4 years experience, you're going to have a deluge of applications. So most times it's actually just to reduce the scale of CVs you have to deal with. You heard, I don't know, Mrs. Dowd talk about it, that on a daily basis, some airlines receive 15,000 applications. Those who qualify, those who don't qualify. So in order to actually draw the line somewhere, you actually have to basically, in addition to some technical competencies you indicate, you also have to now say minimum of X amount of years. Sometimes you actually want some prerequisite experience, but like we did in Virgin, if you're already certified, fine, but even if you were not, fine. Why was that? Because we're more concerned about building a culture, and we believe that if you actually are too predisposed to a way of doing things, you will not be able to actually learn new things and fit in. So sometimes it really doesn't matter, as long as one, you've had somebody say, even with dreadlock was employed, even those who you think may not actually fit in. All you have to do is just be the best you can, and then just make sure, understand the culture of the company you're applying to, and what are they looking for, and try and make sure you actually tune yourself to their own requirement. I mean, it's all like being without any aviation. I went in, I remember I had 2 meetings in Furley, the Medici of Virgin Atlantic, the VTRA, and said, Victor, why do you want to come into aviation? And what was my question? And my answer question was, I've seen the state at which the airports and the kind of service people give. I believe we should have an airline that can do better than that. So I gave a very simple answer. I said, I travel a lot and I've experienced hell when it comes to go to the airport and flying with some companies. Can't we have it better? So sometimes don't bother with the requirements, just actually be honest, candid, and basically prepare. When I was going to aviation, I spent 6 months reading Flight Magazine. How many of you know that magazine? So it's also the knowledge and basically the effort you have to make to actually build your own knowledge base. And guess what? Why was I interested? I was HR with a degree in English, but I knew one thing. I don't go to any industry and not basically master the knowledge in there. So we're talking about RSK, ASKs, what we are looking. So you need to learn the language of the industry. Because we talk about occupancy, you need to learn. So beyond the looks and the work, there's a commercial aspect of it which you must actually learn. So that's my comment.
Thank you very much. Mr. Victor Banjo has actually done justice to that question. Very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, this same Honda car has still not been attended to. Honda Accord, direct and straightforward. I can just, treat some of them, and the ones that need the speakers to come and address, I would also hand over. This one says, what I want to know is if CTI, that is Cabin Crew Training Institute, is an online institute. Absolutely, the answer is yes. Can the ladies confirm, the 2 ladies who came here, is CTI an online institute? Yes. The answer simply is yes. You can find out more from the beautiful ladies. They're just standing right there at the back of the hall. I am 26-year-old without any form of training, but I want to become a flight attendant and one day perhaps move to a different sector of the industry. I hope it is not too late. My sister, it is not too late at all. I would like to know if someone that has passion to become a cabin crew but is above 30 years of age, how does such a person fulfill her dream? A word of advice, please. How does such a person fulfill a dream? A word of advice. This person is 30 years or above and has a passion to be a cabin crew and is wondering if if you have any advice for the person to be able to meet and fulfill her dreams. Does any of the speaker want to give a little talk on that? Perhaps Mama J herself. 30 years of age, she wants to become a cabin crew. How can you advise her so she can fulfill her dreams?
Like I said earlier before, 30 years, the only thing I did, I said, your chances are far greater if you are under the age of 30. However, that does not rule out the fact that you don't stand a chance. If you know you have passion for flying, irrespective of your 30 years of age, just keep up the dream. Keep searching for airlines that are looking for cabin crew, and your dream will become a reality. Don't give up. It doesn't matter your age. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a dream of becoming a pilot, but I intended going into the industry as flight attendant. After listening to Joan Obasi, the female pilot, I am inspired again. If she doesn't mind, I would love her to be my mentor. Who wrote this? Can I know this person? Don't be shy. Can I know this person? Where is this person? A male or female? Doesn't matter anyway. Just raise up your hand. That's all. Okay, you know what I'll do for you? Fortunately for you, she's still here. If you don't mind, come right away and sit next to her. And you can start doing your networking right now. Come right away, sit next to her. Pilots are busy. She might want to go and catch some rest before the next flight. So you have some time to quickly network with her. This question is directed to Chief Mrs. Tolulope Daudu. Please, ma, how do I manage an unruly passenger? Unruly passengers come in different forms, and I believe she did justice to that. However, she's still here, and I'm sure she would want to quickly tackle that very briefly.
Now, unruly passengers come in different shapes and sizes. I need to know exactly what the person did or what scenario you're trying to create for me to be able to answer the question properly. For instance, I could say, I remember one day, I'll give an example. This gentleman came on board and was drunk. He said a couple of words. And then somebody scolded him. It wasn't even me, I didn't even do anything. Somebody scolded him. And then he wanted to start a fight. I didn't even really do much. I just went to the flight deck. I didn't even bother to fix him. Went to the flight deck, reported him. The guy was offloaded. Of course, they were going to refund his money, but we went on the flight, came back before he got his money. So there are different ways. You don't go head on. What I know about unruly passengers, you don't go head on, first and foremost. If I was walking down the aisle and you pinched me or pinched my bum, I would probably behave as if I didn't even see it, I didn't notice it. Yes. If it's the first time, I will probably walk past and behave as if it's nothing. Because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't really do anything to me. It doesn't change who I am. Now, if I walk past again and you do it, then I'll probably turn to you and say, excuse me, don't you ever dare do that again. And I'll say it quietly so that he knows that I mean it. And I'll put on a very stern face. Now, if I'm asking you, and that's why I said, basically, if it's when you want people to do certain things, either fasten their seatbelt, turn off their phones, you have to find what works for you. But one, you cannot afford to be rude. Because a passenger can write a report. My very first experience, the guy wrote a report that I was rude to him. And between you and me, I didn't even say anything. But I'll give you a very good one. The person wasn't really unruly. This one happened live and direct, what my days in Virgin Nigeria. We had a minister of aviation on board. Even the papers carried this story. And I know that Mama J can bear me witness. Tunde Omotoba, it wasn't Panikado. Tunde Omotoba came on board my flight. And he had like 10 bags. The flight was going to Abuja. And it was a 737. It was a full flight. And they were the last set of passengers, he and his guys, the last set of passengers to come on board. And for the 10 items that he was carrying, I didn't have space. And I knew that there was no magic we could do to find space for those bags. So they came on board and I was watching them. You know, when these people, they want to show, so I relaxed. I said, okay, fine. And the man went ahead, his guys went ahead, they were trying to push bags. And I was watching them as they were swimming. The coach room, they put, he had wooden frames, about 6 or 7 of them, put them in the coach room. So the space, they now had 2 bags and there was no space for those 2 bags. So they went behind the last row of seats in business class and dropped the bags there. I didn't even see it. It was my colleague at the back that saw it. So she called me over the pier and said, Mrs. D, they have put this bag behind the row, last row of seats in business class. So I went to meet these guys. I didn't even go to meet them. I went to meet these guys. I said, I'm sorry guys, but those bags cannot stay there. The night came forward, reported to the minister, thinking that the minister could scare me. They didn't know who they were dealing with. And I kept quiet, I was just watching. So the man now called me. I said, excuse me, sir. I said, no, listen to me. I've done favors for Virgin Nigeria. This man doesn't know me. So I kept quiet. When he finished, I said, I'm sorry, sir, but as you can see, it's a full flight. I don't have space for this bags. Let's tag the bags for so you can pick them up at the foot of the airplane. He went on, so that you people can destroy my bags. I said, okay, let's put the bags in the coach room, remove the frames, and check them in, and you do them cocoa. He said, no, or else I will walk off your flight. I said, okay, let's see who is who now. It does not remove the hair if you move off the flight. But I believe I've done everything I do. So I just walked up to the flight deck and I said, Captain, the minister says he's going to step off the flight if I don't find space for his bags. I do not have space. I'm not going to put it under my seatbelt, and I'm not going to endanger anybody's life because of the minister. It won't happen. The guy said, hey, if he wants to step off, let him walk off. And the man walked off the airplane. As he was walking off, he called the MD. Olumide was the MD then, called the MD and told him, this girl was rude to me. You need to sack her. Blah, 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 blah. It was a Sunday evening. I came back from the flight, I wrote my report, and I remember it was Mama J that treated the reports because she called me the following day. And I went home to sleep because I knew that I didn't do anything wrong, I wasn't rude, I wasn't, and I was waiting for what was going to happen. And we got to the following day, of course, the whole place was in an uproar, people were running helter-skelter. Fortunately, the commercial person on duty took pictures of all the items, you know, and then they set up a panel, took me off flight duties, and the crew was saying, Mrs. Steve, no, you can't take. I said, wait, let's get to the end of the matter. You know, you pick your battles. I knew that there's nothing I don't know, so wait, let's get to the end of the matter. And they had the panel. I didn't even go to them, to that panel throughout. They sat, at the end of the day, the conclusion, no, she was doing her job. We'll find a way to appease the minister otherwise, but she was doing her job. And that's what it takes. You need to be professional in whatever you do. It doesn't matter. You don't get into an exchange with the passenger. Avoid it completely. There's no need for it. Try as much as possible to be assertive if it's something that the passenger needs to do. And if he's not responding and you can't get him, then just report him. There are ways to deal with people. People who won't cooperate with you, there are ways. You just need to learn. You need to take your time. Don't take it headlong. That's what I would suggest for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just to chip in something to that.
Regarding unruling passengers, the regulation also does protect each and every one of you, the crew. Just a couple of days ago, an Indian minister, or very prominent individual, slapped, not even a cabin crew, a staff on the ground. He came and he was even late for his own fault, but somehow just got angry and slapped the staff. And automatically he was banned. The airline banned him from flying, and he had to go by train to his destination. and I'm sure there's still more sanctions on him. But basically, there is a regulation concerning bullying persons, and therefore, as a crew, you don't need to protect yourself by fighting back. No, just allow the regulation to speak for you, and it's definitely, if the NCA person is here, will confirm that.
Get into NCAT, Zaria. I have been applying for it, but no reply. Elga, this is to you.
Mr. Akpan, will you please handle this? Thank you.
Where this question is coming from. NCAT is very open and very willing. But if you say you have applied to NCAT, I don't know who asked the question, I don't know the platform that this person used. But if you had applied through the normal platform, you go through the academic office, your application will be received and then attended to. NCAT is a federal government institution, and it's not like an ATO that you just walk into and then get immediate answers. Things in NCAT, they take processes and procedures. You have to understand government protocol. So if you did apply through the formal platform, your application will go through the academic office and then to the relevant school, and then that application will receive attention. You have to understand that there is need for assessment. You will go through an assessment, and that date will be communicated, and when you come for the assessment, there is a pass mark that is required for every school. And if you make that pass mark, you will be required again to come for oral interview. After the oral interview with the written assessment, you will go for medical examination. It is then that you'll be given an admission letter and that you are ready to go for that course. So those are the procedures. In NCAT, I want to repeat, in NCAT, there is no shortcut. You have to go through that process. Have I answered that question, please? Okay. Now, one other thing I want to bring. Yes, while I was here in the hall, a lot of students or intending students or students that have passed through my hands. I'm sorry. There is a practice, Mr. Dada. I just want to bring this to your notice and sir, look at one item. I don't want to mention the airlines. Airlines attract trainees. Ask them that they should come for training, and they'll pay for the training, and that they will do what? They would give them employment, job, and that is the attraction. And I don't want to mention the airline. You know this airline, okay? Not too many. And then these intending students come, and then they pay for the training with the hope that the job will be given. Immediately after the training, they are discarded. And then people that they never saw during the training are the ones that are now being recruited. This is the issue that is ongoing in the aviation industry. I just want to bring this to our notice. It is inhuman, absolutely inhuman, insensitive, and very highly unregulated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Training. How many weeks is their course and their requirements? We do have a representative from Jabi. The person still here? Jabi Aviation. Somebody wants to join Jabi Aviation to take the cabin crew course. She just wants to know how many weeks the course takes, as well as any other requirements. Oh, some people are answering the question for us already. 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Okay. Last but not the least, even though you meet the requirements, training, license, etc., and you still don't have a job, what do we do? Okay, even though you meet the requirements, you've done your training on your own, you have been licensed by NCAA, but you still have not been able to secure a job with any of the airlines. I have my license for over a year and I have applied to almost all airlines and still no job. What do I do?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you keep trying. Don't give up. Of course, you have to renew your license, but you keep trying. Like I said earlier, there are few cabin crew jobs available. Most airlines are covered. Even few airlines by job. So there are few airlines, so you don't go into two of few. So you don't give up. Apart from that, hello, going to the house, you don't give up, you keep trying. One thing you must know about airline is that it's not always fast, it's a bit slow. So you can have an airline that is trying to start, they've even recruited, you'll be given a letter. You might still find that you have to stay and wait for months. You are waiting for the aircraft to come, they are doing their documentation with NCAA. These things take time. So if you don't have patience, then you might lose it easily. So I will encourage you to keep trying, don't give up. It's just a matter of time. Just keep at it. But if you give up now, then that will be it. So keep at it, keep trying. It may be slow, there are some points you will get there. Thank you.
Just keep trying, like Mama J has said. How many times did Buhari try to become president? Several times, I guess. I believe we've taken the very last question. There probably won't be time for this again. I'd just like to call on Mama J at this point. Perhaps I will answer this question. Yes, please see me so I can answer this. We won't have time to take this anymore.
I'd like to thank you so much for your time. A lot of us were supposed to be at work today because the work day, you have to take time out of your very tight schedule to come. So I really, really appreciate it. I just want to thank the Almighty God for making today a reality. It was a lot of hard work behind the scenes. That to God be the glory. Everything went well. Thank you very much for coming. For the aspirants, please, you need to wait behind and pick up your certificates. And then please, I would like to take pictures with you before you leave. And the mentoring continues. You were told to bring your CVs, a copy of your CVs and pictures, full-length pictures. Please, you need to drop them with me before you leave. So like I said, the mentoring continues from now. I want to thank NCATS for coming and support. I really appreciate. I want to thank Adron Properties for supporting. I want to thank Ghana Air for supporting. Brand Air. I also want to thank Cabin Crew Training Institute. I want to thank my colleagues in the media for coming. I want to thank my family. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want to thank my admin, Grace Omohai. Please, wherever you are, would let them see. She's the admin to my blog and she has really been working behind the scene. I want to thank people who, a lot of people supported me financially, morally, motivated me. There are so many ways you can support me. You don't necessarily have to be cash. A lot of people supported me and I can't help but just mention their names. Enaekpe, thank you. Mr. Isaac Nangu, Shegun Erewa, Captain Ilajaja, Ayo Moisi, Mr. Victor Banjo, within short notice was able to make it. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate. That is Father V for you. Thank you. Thank you to Captain Lawani, he's not here today, Captain Kola King, Captain Zebiri, Olalekan, Unilag FM, Malola of this day. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority was well represented today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chima Kinsley of African World Airlines. He has supported me right from the beginning, from my very small beginnings, and he has believed in me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Manny, the MC. He's always there, reliable, dependable. Thank you. Thank you to Kumbileshi. She's not here right now, but she worked so hard with me to make sure that it became a reality. She got the dependability award because she has been very dependable. Whenever I meet her, I call on her and she goes the extra mile. She's not here right now, but I appreciate her. My colleagues, way back from Okada Airlines. Okay, Jay, if you're here, please. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Okay, Jay, yes, Okada Air. I want to thank my colleagues from Virgin Nigeria. VK, if you're here. One were Virgins. Thank you very much. Thank you to James Aruke, Nigerian Flag Deck, Abel News. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. You've supported me. You've made my day. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it all from the horse's mouth, Madam Joy Ogbebo. Please give her a wonderful round of applause. I believe this occasion has indeed been a very huge success. Thank you very much. To everybody who has come to make this occasion possible, I'd just like to add that we are sincerely grateful for gracing the occasion for us. At this point, the networking can continue. Please feel free to socialize and interact with every other person in the room. I remain yours truly, the Aristocrat MC, Professional Master of Ceremonies, Public Relations Consultant, member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. I'd like to thank you very much for coming. Till I cross your path again, may God bless you all. Thank you.